Hi, this is Fredrik Haren, the Creativity Explorer, and I want you to discover your full creative potential. In this video, I want to share you just one little technique that you can use. It's actually from one of my books called The Idea Book. This exercise is called Take Away the Fundamental, and it works very simply like this. Take the project that you're working on or the problem that you have and you say, what is the basic fundamental of the problem that I'm trying to solve? And then you write them down and you take them away. It sounds counterintuitive, it sounds stupid, sometimes, most of the time it is stupid, but once in a while you get a really good idea and you venture into an area where no other people has ever been because they won't go there because it sounds like such a stupid idea. So let's look at an example of how I used this technique in the idea book on the idea book. So this is what is the basic fundamental of book design? So if you ask people, what is the basic fundamental of book design? Most people will say, well, to do book design, you need to think about, you need to have the title of the book, obviously. You need to have the name of the author. You need to have a picture and you need to have a subtitle. And people think this is what book designs need to look like in order to sell a lot. And then we can go into a bookstore, any bookstore, and this is what we see. And what do they have? All the same thing. There they go. There's a name of the book, there's a title, the name of the author, there's a title of the book, there's a picture, and there's a subtitle. And they all look the same. But remember, creativity is being different, to do things differently, better. So I decided when I'm going to design my book, the idea book, I will write down the basic fundamentals of book design and I will break them. So here we have, this is my cover. Now look at that. There is a title, it says The Idea Book, but it's a very tiny title. There is not the name of the author. My name is not on the book. There is no picture and there is no subtitle. I broke 3 of the 4 basic design laws for book design. I wrote down the basic fundamentals and I took them away. Why? Because I wanted to stand out. Now remember, it's very important in book design to stand out. Do you have to have the name of the author on the book? Well, actually no. What is the best-selling book of all time? It's the Bible. Does it have the name of the author? No, it doesn't. So I said, well, if it works on the Bible, it should work on my book too. So now, I broke all the fundamentals, but is it creative? Well, it's only creative if it works. So let's go back to that shelf I just showed you. That was the shelf of the best-selling management book at the time when I launched the book, The Idea Book in Singapore. And here is the whole shelf. And suddenly we have Donald Trump, Malcolm Gladwell, Barack Obama. And what is that? Next to Barack Obama, what do we have there? What's that? People go, why? What's that? A hole? Now they go closer. Oh, it's not a hole. Is it a Bible? No, it's not a Bible. What is this book? They go closer, they pick it up, they're holding it in their hand. And here's the lesson. When you hold the book in your hand, that is when you buy it. When I stood there, and when I launched the book, I stood and I hid behind the shelf and I was looking, does this work? And it turned out that my book, The Idea Book, was picked up more times than all other books on this shelf combined. Why? Because people got curious. What is this book that is breaking all the design rules? And 1 year after this picture were taken, only 2 books were still on the bestseller list in Singapore. Malcolm Gladwell's The Tipping Point, the best-selling book of the 21st century, and The Idea Book, a self-published book, but an unknown author at that time in Singapore. It worked because I broke the basic fundamentals of book design. See, it stands out. Now, if everyone does what you're supposed to be doing and you do the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing, it can either crash or it could be a roaring success. One company that did this perfectly is IKEA, or as you like to say, IKEA, but I'm from Sweden and we say IKEA. IKEA said, what is the basic fundamentals of a basket? And they said, well, first of all, everyone says that baskets should be in the entrance of the store. But so IKEA said, well, do they really? What if we have them all over the store? And they did. Actually, they also questioned the fact that if it should be a basket, and they said, let's do a bag instead. And now you walk into IKEA and there are bags everywhere. And people walk in, they say, oh, I don't need a bag. And they keep walking into the store and then suddenly they buy too many things and right there they need a bag. And what does IKEA have right there? A bag. You put everything into the bag, you continue to shop. Now you're almost at the end of the store. What do IKEA have there? They have trolleys. IKEA does not have the trolleys in the beginning. They have the trolleys almost at the end. Why? Because that's when people wanted the trolleys. They broke the basic fundamentals of where the basket should be and where the trolley should be, and it works brilliantly. And by the way, Decathlon does the same, and it works brilliantly for them too. A perfect example how this exercise works. Now, the question of course to you is, what is the basic fundamental of the problem that you are trying to solve right now? What would happen if you took it away? Make a list with the basic fundamentals, cross one out, do some brainstorming and see what ideas pop up. Most of the ideas will be terrible, but once in a while you will have an idea on the level of the magnitude of the IKEA, or at least maybe at the magnitude of the idea book, something that makes a great idea onto a problem that you were not able to solve by questioning the basic fundamental. That is the lesson for me today, and I am Fredrik Haren and I am the Creativity Explorer. I want you to discover your full creative potential, and I will do that through speeches, through books, online learning, or by just sharing my videos with you today, like I did today. If you enjoyed this video, please give a comment or a like and tell me what you like and what you would like to know. What is your question about creativity? I will happily answer them in my next video. Now go out and discover your full creative potential.